How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse and I am back for another comic book video, and this time I'm doing part 2 of the top 20 DC heroes of the Golden Age. Now, if you see a hero on this list who you thought that should have been there, go ahead and check out the first video. They might be on that list. So, let's go ahead and kick this list off with number 10 and number 9. And I'm going to do both of them at the same time because you can't do one of their histories without the other one. So, here we go. Coming in at number 10 and number 9, Hawkgirl and Hawkman. Hawkgirl, Shiera Saunders, and Hawkman, Carter Hall, both appeared for the first time in Flash Comics number 1 in 1940. Centuries ago, presumably in ancient Egypt, Prince Khufu, who would later be known as the hero Hawkman, found a crashed Thanagarian ship. After they got it back to the palace, they were able to forge the nth metal into a number of different things. Shiera and Prince Khufu would be later murdered by the priest Hatset with a knife that was formed out of the nth metal. Because of their love and the strange properties of the knife, their souls would be bounded together and they would be able to reincarnate, apparently through infinity. They would later come out into the 20th century, where they would be Shiera Saunders and Carter Hall. Hawkman and Hawkgirl both use anti-gravity belts and artificial wings that are both made out of nth metal. Hawkgirl also has nth metal belts and boots. The nth metal enhancements has increased her strength, durability, vision, and given her accelerated healing. She uses a number of weapons, most notably a spike club. Carter Hall also has the nth metal boots and belts, which gives him the same abilities that it gives to Shiera. He also has an entire arsenal of medieval weapons at his disposal. Now, number 8 on this list has a high degree of mechanical aptitude and is a brilliant scientist. I also covered him on my top 10 genius level DC heroes, if you want to go ahead and give that one a look. So, here's number 8. Coming in at number 8, Starman. Starman, Ted Knight, first appeared in Adventure Comics number 61 in 1941. Ted Knight was a rich socialite who got bored as his role of a millionaire playboy and decided to go back to his first love, which was that of science. He would go on to notice that stars were emitting a lot of energy that would make it all the way to Earth, but had no way of harnessing the energy. After he would talk to a cousin of his, he discovered that she created a gun that allowed her to become a crime fighter, and Ted thought that that was something that he wanted to do as well. He would go on to create the gravity rod. The gravity rod would allow him to defy the laws of gravity and shoot out concentrated bursts of solar energy. The gravity rod was able to pull in the energy from stars, which is why he got the name of Starman. He would go on later to create the cosmic rod that would go on to his successor. Some of the things that the cosmic rod could do was it had, magnetic manipulation, energy absorption, radiation detection, among many other things. Ted Knight would also become a member of the Justice Society for many years. Now, number 7 is probably one of the goofiest, if not one of the most obnoxious characters in the DC universe. He definitely started that way, but through storytelling and retcons over time, he's actually developed to be one of the strongest characters in the DC universe. So, let's do number 7. Coming in at number 7, Plastic Man. Plastic Man, Patrick O'Brien, first appeared in Police Comics #1 in 1941. Interestingly enough, Plastic Man is not part of the original DC universe. He was originally published by Quality Comic Books. When Quality would shut down in the mid-50s, DC acquired many of their characters, which included Plastic Man. In 1940, Patrick O'Brien was shot by a security guard while breaking into the Crawford Chemical Works. He fell into a vat of acid, and the bullet wound allowed the acid to seep into his body and affect his body on a chemical level. After his acid bath and he emerged from the chemical plant, he noticed that his cohorts in crime had left him behind, and he staggered on foot until he succumbed from his injuries. The monks at a monastery would take him in, and sensing good inside of him, decided to turn the police investigation away from him. When he saw the helpfulness of the monks, he decided, and the fact that his gang left him, he decided to turn his life into fighting crime. He donned on a red leotard and glasses, and though it is not explained how they work in concert with his body, they work with his amazing abilities. He is, as his name states, plastic, but he is extremely elastic. He has the ability of size alteration, which he can make himself down to as small as the atom or as large as a skyscraper. He can change the contours of his body to be like flat as a sheet of paper, or even change his finger to be able to pick a lock. Along with his superhuman ability, his near invulnerability, he can also increase his strength by growing muscles on his body. He is immune to telepathy. He is practically immortal. His organs are also made out of rubber as well. And he does have the ability to change color, but it takes extreme concentration, so normally he doesn't do that. And now, for number 6 and number 5. The names may sound familiar, but these are not the heroes that you recognize, unless you study the Golden Age. They are some of the original heroes in DC comic books, and they're also founding members of the Justice Society. Coming in at number 6, Green Lantern. Green Lantern, Alan Scott, first appeared in All-American Comics number 16 in 1940. Alan Scott does not gain his powers from the Green Lantern battery, such as the rest of the Lantern Corps, but from a magical entity that was imprisoned centuries ago by the Guardians called Starheart. After being saved from a train wreck by the mysterious Starheart that was now fashioned in the shape of a lantern, he was instructed by the Starheart to fashion it into the shape of a ring. When he put the ring on, he was granted many abilities. Just like the other Green Lanterns, he had a force field, he could make constructs out of green energy, and he could fly. Some of the other abilities that he was given was immortality, invisibility, superhuman strength, and the ability to walk through solid objects. Coming in at number 5, The Flash. The Flash, Jay Garrick, first appeared in Flash Comics number 1 in 1940. Jay Garrick was attending Midwest University as he was working on his double major, which was physics and chemistry. He was doing an experiment to purify hard water without the use of radiation. While working with a cyclotron, some of the hard water spilled and the fumes leaked out to the laboratory and knocked him unconscious. He was rescued from the lab, and after he spent some time unconscious, he woke up to find that his metabolism was moving at a super rate and that he could move at super speeds. Jay being able to tap into the Speed Force is what gives him a host of his abilities, such as his accelerated healing and decelerated aging. He can create objects by using the Speed Force. He can fly, phase through solid objects, and steal others' speed. He also can open up conduits in the Speed Force, which allows friends and family members to move at the same speed that he is for a short period of time. Now, number 4, he has been shown in a number of different ways in many of the different iterations that he's been with the comic books over time. In the early Golden Age, he's represented one way, and Batman the Brave and the Bold is represented another way, in Justice League, and even his hit TV show Arrow. So you're probably guessing who I'm talking about right now. Number 4 shows that you don't need superpowers to be a superhero, and I also covered him on my non-powered DC Heroes list, so you might want to give that one a look too. So here's number 4. Coming in at number 4, Green Arrow. Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, first appeared in More Fun Comics number 73 in 1941. Like a lot of other heroes, he was struck with tragedy at a young age. When he was young, he idolized Robin Hood and was practicing with bow and arrows and accidentally killed a neighborhood animal. When he was with his mother and father on an African safari trip, they were killed by some lions that he hesitated to shoot because of the early tragedy with the neighborhood animal. He was raised by his uncle, who eventually inherited the fortune, and Oliver Queen would become a rich, thrill-seeking, drunken playboy who shirked his responsibilities. When he was in the middle of the ocean, he was tossed from his boat and ended up on Starfish Island. With no food, shelter, or resources, he had to develop his skills as a hunter to survive. Before he came back to Star City, he broke up a heroin ring that was operating on the island by the crime lord China White. Much in the same, also had his own arrow cave where he had an arrow boat, an arrow car, and an aeroplane, spelled A-R-R-O-W. He is a master archer. He is skilled in acrobatics, and he has skills in aviation. He has been trained in martial arts, hunting. He's also had his hand in politics. He's also a master swordsman. He is so proficient with a sword, even though it's not his preferred weapon, that he has been able to beat Master Swordsmith and even able to cut an arrow in the air that was fired at him. Armed with his trick arrows and his custom bow, Arrow is so proficient that he is able to fire 29 arrows a minute. Now, number 3, 2, and 1 have been around since the very beginning. They're founding members of the Justice Society. They're founding members of the Justice League. They're the names that you know. They're the people who they've always been. Even though their past may have been changed with one crisis to the next, they're still in the comic books today. And in fact, number 2 has appeared on 2 separate lists of mine. The non-powered DC's Heroes list and the Genius level DC Heroes list. That's number 2. So you might want to give both of those a look as well. So without further ado, here is the 3 greatest heroes in the DC comic books. Coming in number 3, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, Diana of Paradise Island, first appeared in All-Star Comics number 8 in 1941. And I will answer the age-old question, if Wonder Woman can fly, why does she have an invisible jet? Well, when she first came out, she didn't have the ability to fly. That's why. Several hundred years before she became known to the outside world, Wonder Woman was born to Themyscira. Her mother, Hippolyta, pleaded to the gods for a child, and she requested that a perfect clay statue be animated into a real girl. The gods, taking sympathy on her, granted her wish. Pleased with the child, she called her daughter and trained her to be an Amazonian on the island with all the privileges of royalty. One fated day, a captain named Stephen Trevor crashed on the island, and Diana immediately fell in love with him. She tried to nurse him back to health, but was violating the order of no men being on the island. When she pleaded with her mother, she helped her by using the purple ray, saving his life, where he was later transported back to the mainland. Wonder Woman wanted to explore the world after that, and her mother forbade it until Aphrodite came up and said it was time for Wonder Woman to be known to the world. Wonder Woman has superhuman agility, durability, speed, and strength. She is also immortal because she drank from the fountain of eternal youth that was on Paradise Island. She has skills in aviation, escape, and escapology. She's trained in hand-to-hand combat. She is also multilingual. She uses the bracelets of submission, the lasso of truth, and also flies in her invisible plane. She also has an interesting particular weakness. If her wrists are bound together by a man, she loses all of her powers, but nothing happens to her if her wrists are bound by a woman. Coming in at number 2, Batman. Batman, Bruce Wayne, first appeared in Detective Comics number 27, 1939. Bruce Wayne was orphaned as a child. When the mugger Joe Chill tried to steal his mother's necklace, his father tried to intervene. They both were shot for it. Bruce would be raised by his uncle Philip Wayne and was sent to Hudson Academy, where he would meet his first girlfriend, Julie Madison. After they graduated, Bruce wanted to become a cop, but Julie said that she could never be with a man who put his life in danger like that. So Bruce decided to become a costume crime fighter to avenge his parents. He knew that criminals were a superstition and cowardly lot. So while trying to figure out who he was going to become, a bat flew through his window, and he took it as a sign to become the superhero Batman. Now, the Batman from the early days is not too different from the Batman we know now. Trained in acrobats, aviation, disguise, marksmanship, he also knows swimming and swordsmanship. From his Bat Cave, he had the Batmobile, the Bat Cycle, the Bat Boat, the Bat Plane. Also equipped with his utility belt, which was a belt ex machina, and his signature, the Batarangs. Now, coming in at number 1, the Man of Steel, the last son of Krypton, Superman. Superman, Clark Kent, or Kal-El, first appeared in Action Comics number 1 in 1938. His story has been altered many times throughout the years, but it's still the basic premise. Kal-El was born on the planet Krypton. His father, Jor-El, put him in a spacecraft and launched him into space before the planet collapsed. He stayed in space for an indeterminate amount of time before it crash landed on Earth, and he was discovered, adopted, and raised by the Kents. When he was a child, he started manifesting some of his abilities. When he graduated from school, he went to Metropolis, and he went as the costumed crime fighter, Superman. Now, as Superman's powers would develop over time, he does not have all the powers in the beginning that he has today. At first, he was more powerful than a locomotive, not infinite strength. He could leap tall buildings in a single bound, not fly, and he was faster than a speeding bullet. He could not move at subsonic speeds. That has all changed. He has, with his vision, he has the heat vision. He has enhanced vision. He can see through the electromagnetic spectrum, telescopic vision. He has accelerated healing, decelerated aging. Now he can fly. He is essentially invulnerable, superhuman agility, reflexes, and super breath, among a number of other abilities that he's developed over time. I hope you enjoyed this list of the top 20 DC heroes, part 2. As always, I enjoy making them. Yes, the S that I've been wearing for this entire video is kind of telling about who was going to be number 1. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and get that like button to click. If you like this video and you want to see others that I've done, such as some of the ones I've mentioned here, you can go ahead and review everything that I've done. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You'll see everything that I do, that I'm coming up with. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, heroes that I didn't mention that you think I should have, you can go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section, or you can leave me a message on Facebook, and I'll put the information in the credits for that. If you'd like to follow me on Tumblr, which I update rather sporadically, I'll put the information for that in the credits as well. So, until next time, I'll see you.